Dats.
Hey! July 16th, 2018.
This is it, folks. The final podcast, or at least the final new podcast before we return for new podcasts Labor Day week. We should mention, however, in between that time, there will be 8. Is that right, Christoph? 8 best of podcasts, a new one every single week.
That is correct.
Christoph, tell us a little bit about that very quickly so the listeners know what they can expect.
Oh, there's going to be tons of great stuff. A lot of classic Jay and Dan moments, as we call it. Some of our great guests from this past season. And also a bunch of Ben Teller, which I'm sure Dan will be thrilled to hear and downloading avidly.
See, the best part of that for Dan, though, is that the listeners who love Ben get their Ben fix, but Dan doesn't have to hear from him.
Good. That's perfect.
So it's really a win-win. Maybe we should just have Ben pre-record all his bits all the time, and then we'd be set to go. What a great weekend. Little rainy today, though. Little rainy. Got a little rain.
Farmers needed it.
That's true. They did, didn't they?
Big time.
Yeah, the farmers in southern Ontario really needed it.
My farmer buddy Brian, he said it's the driest he's seen it in 30 years.
What's this movie, Mile 22 with Marky Mark?
That's been agricultural news and weather on the 11s.
You'd be good at ag news. Maybe that's your future. Ag news with Toolsy.
Hey, if it pays me, sure.
You don't care. You don't give it. We're going to give a call to a friend of ours now. This is a guy we've been trying to track down for weeks, Dan.
Mm-hmm. I saw him in person at the U.S. Open. He was supposed to come on after the U.S. Open, but
he went off to Lake Como. He went off to Italy.
Clooney hangs out.
Yeah. So we're going to ask him if he ran into Clooney. Our friend Bernie Kim. We'll ask him if he's had any fever dreams. Bernie Kim fever dreams fame.
He may have had fever dreams at the U.S. Open because they were working like 16-hour shifts and stuff like that.
Yeah, but whenever I hear that, I was working 16 hours at the Open, I'm always like, yeah, come on. Seems like you guys are having a pretty good time. He was hanging around with Holly Saunders the whole time. Look up Holly Saunders if you don't know who Holly is.
In a tent facing the clubhouse.
Yeah. And I'm sure he had someone bringing him drinks on the regular. Just knowing Bernie, he had someone fetching him delicious alcoholic beverages on the reg at the U.S. Open. Bernie, you're there. How are you, buddy?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Oh, man, we miss you, pal. We miss you.
I missed you guys. Well, you guys are talking about the U.S. Open where I got to see Dan. Someone was fetching Dan alcoholic beverages, I think.
Yeah, that was me. What was your U.S. Open experience like?
Well, as a proud member of the Fox USGA team and on Team Saunders and Team Shane O'Donoghue, I get to be chained to a chair for 12 hours a day.
Yeah, tell the listeners who don't know the biz, Bernie, what were you doing exactly?
So, I think you guys were just talking about the area that I was stationed at, which is this interview tent, which is right outside of 18 scoring. So we got to see all the players come in. And I work with both Holly Saunders and Shane O'Donoghue, who does our post-round interviews. And so I help them with any of their on-camera hits. And so, we get on a couple times an hour. Shane gets on. Probably towards the end of the rounds, we'll get on with the players, and then Holly will have pieces to talk to and whatnot.
Are the players more excited in a very obvious way to speak to Holly than Shane?
You know who's more excited than anyone more overtly is the senior men. The senior men, they can't wait. Yeah. The guys are the guys. They're a little more grizzled.
Right.
The senior men are just like, I'm going to have fun. And yes, I would say they tend to perk up when they see Holly.
Now, Bernie, you were right there where the players came out and they'd do interviews and then they'd sign autographs. Did you see any autograph scenarios where you saw a golf fan lose their by getting an autograph or seeing a player?
Oh, no, yes. It's funny. It has nothing to do with the player. It has everything to do with Holly. the only time that anyone really, this one guy just kept yelling out, well, actually, everybody, about once every 15 minutes, you hear some dude yell, Holly! Holly! And then one guy literally lost his, when she turned her head. He's like, oh, my God! Oh my God! Yeah! It was quite creepy. One guy tried to prove that he was legit. He wanted to talk to her, so he handed somebody a copy of his driver's license.
Oh, my God.
And said,
Why?
he said, yeah, he wrote some note about why he's normal or something like that, or why he should be able to talk to her, and literally had a copy of a license.
So the first thing that tells you are not normal is by giving a handwritten note to someone on a photocopy of your license to say that you're normal.
Yes, this is life as Holly Saunders. This is her life, getting just yelled at by drunk golf bros, and then they all think they have the line that's going to be oh, I'm different.
The one she hasn't heard, the one that will work. Yeah. And then you went from there, and you went over to Italy, and you hung out with Clooney. You went to Lake Como. Were there any Clooney sightings?
No Clooney sightings, but Lake Como's very. Jay, have you been? Dan, have you been? It's a nice setting. Nice place to have a little lunch. Yeah, we weren't in any of that. I was looking for the Ocean's 12 villa that the Night Wolf was living in. The Night Fox was living in, but I didn't see it.
Right.
But it was quite a nice town. Italy's a beautiful place, and it was a nice place to spend a week. So what can I say?
Was that your honeymoon?
No. It was actually. My wife's cousin was getting married in this small mountain town outside of Venice, and so we just went to Milan.
How did they choose that as a location?
He grew up there. The groom grew up there. They met in New York. They live in New York, and then they decided they did a small marriage and wedding in New York, and then they did an Italian ceremony.
And then they said whoever has the box, you can come over and hang with us in Italia. And the Kims were like, boom, we are so in.
I got those medium range Fox USGA dollars coming in, so life's pretty good.
What was the food like at the reception in Italy?
That was the best meal, easily the best wedding meal I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
And it's in maybe my top 5 favorite meals I've ever had in my life.
Wow, at a wedding.
I don't just give that out.
No.
I don't just give that out.
No, that is high praise, as Nick Cage would say. And you're going back to Europe quick. Aren't you going back to Europe? And follow-up question, should you bring Dan with you and your beautiful wife, Carol? Should Dan come along with you?
Yes.
Dan, would you like to come? We're going to a wedding in Sweden. She's in the wedding.
What?
So I'm in Stockholm, so I'm going to have a lot of downtime while she's doing bridesmaid type activities.
Oh,
when
my
are you
God.
doing this?
You guys, Rasmus Dahlin, ripping it up at the Stockholm clubs.
When are you going there, Bernie?
This is the first weekend of August, the 2nd, 3rd area, somewhere like that.
Toolsy, that's perfect timing. We're off.
I'm in PEI.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that is a nice place. Prince Edward Island.
Oh, yeah.
Where Anne of Green Gables takes place. I know you read that in your Baltimore public school education.
We didn't have books in this. No, we didn't.
Hey, Bernie, any recent fever dreams?
Oh, my God. I sure did have a fever dream. I had a few, actually. I had one
You should talk to someone first off. You should talk to someone about
No, this is great material. And now, ladies and gentlemen,
to you guys about it.
Bernie Kim's fever dreams. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I had a quite stressful dream where I was back in college, and there was current students there, and they were messing with me, and then they kidnapped my wife, and I was chasing her through a train station. This is a long story short. I remember all the details of this. And then at the end, it turned out Carol was pranking me the whole time, and I woke up very stressed out, and I didn't understand what was going on. And then last night I had a dream. No, 2 nights ago I had a dream where I was at my parents' house in Baltimore, And then there was a Project X-style party that all these people descended onto my parents' house, and I was getting very stressed out. And two of the people that were throwing the party were former Fox Sports Live producer Zeus and
Zeus,
Anquan Bolden. So I don't understand. And the whole time of this party, and I'm like, got to get these people out of my house. And I was saying, "Where's Anquan?" I said that all night. Where's Anquan?
You're very distressed.
Yeah, you really. A lot of your stresses, your inner thoughts come through in your dreams, but more in a more intense way for you than I think anyone I've ever met.
Yeah, I do a lot of kicking in my dreams.
You internalize.
But in real life, and like my wife is just like, "Why were you kicking last night?" And
okay.
I was like, I had to get these people out of the house. This is my parents. They're trying to sleep.
You had the Jimmy legs.
Yeah, I got the Jimmy leg. Yeah, sure do.
And then today you got together with a good friend of ours, and maybe the person Dan misses the most in L.A.
Oh yeah, Sexy Mike. So myself and Sexy Mike and Carol went to Los Angeles taco staple Marisco's Jalisco and got the shrimp tacos there, which are phenomenal. I don't know if you guys ever went there when you were in L.A.
No.
I never got to go. I always wanted to, and I never got to go. I'm so jealous. It sounds amazing.
I boycotted all the taco places because they didn't have hard shell tacos.
Oh, no, Dan. This is a crispy shrimp taco, and I don't know what is inside of it, but it is heaven. I swear, I've had it 3 times in the last month because I only went for the first time last month, and I've been thinking about it ever since. It's phenomenal.
Please send us some in the mail.
What would you rank higher, the Mariscos Jalisco shrimp taco or the Milan wedding meal?
Come on, man.
That's a would you rank.
Wow. Well, as a meal, I'd have to take the wedding meal, but man, as just a singular item to eat,
one bite.
It is one.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that taco bite is pretty phenomenal. I mean, Jonathan Gold he's been raving about this place for years. And Jay, I know you're a big fan of Jay Gold.
Yeah.
He doesn't get many wrong.
He's the food critic of Los Angeles. He's the one everyone listens to. Here's another person I listen to, Mike Botticello. Is he doing okay? Does he have a real job?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, he was producing that show.
What show?
Yeah,
it's The Source, right? Or no? What is it again?
It's on Complex. He was producing that. Yeah. I mean, he was available today, Monday. But then again, so was I. I can't. I mean, I just got back from the road. I was covering the U.S. Senior Women's Open. I'm pretty sure that led your Sports Center. But,
yes. Yes, it certainly did. Very much into the U.S. Senior Women's Open. Those ladies are into Holly, I bet.
No comment. They're very, very nice people. I like them all.
You're an amazing diplomat.
Laura Davis, phenomenal. She was phenomenal. Nancy Lopez, phenomenal. She was a starter. She was very nice.
Oh,
Julie
Nancy
Inkster.
Lopez.
I don't know. Did you guys meet Julie Inkster? You guys would love Julie Inkster.
No, I didn't get a chance to meet her, but man, I would love to meet Nancy Lopez. Maybe have dinner with her at Marisco's.
Oh, a funny story about golf. I don't think you'll mind that.
Funny story about golf.
Let's hear it.
So, the first night we get to the Senior Women's Open, which was outside of Chicago, we go down. There's a little reception for the Fox USGA crew. It's just a crew little soiree, and I'm wearing my Jay and Dan shirt.
Amazing.
So I come down with this shirt, and I'm talking to to Shane Bacon, one of our announcers, and Mark Loomis, our executive producer. And they go, "Hey, what's up with that shirt?" And I go, "Oh yeah, this is Jay and Dan. They were at Fox Sports." Yeah, and then Shane was talking about how he loved Jay and he loved you guys, and Loomis goes, "Yeah, those guys." You guys kind of took a dig at our coverage in 2015, and I had to send him an email about it.
Yeah, that's all he remembers. Yeah, what?
No, yeah, and then I go, "Oh, well, I guess I'll walk this way now. No, he said he was fine. He said it's over with. He just said he just remembers sending one of you guys an email about it. And said,
It was me. It was me. Because I made what I thought was a funny joke on the show a week after our first U.S. Open, which was at Chambers Bay, which we got land-basted for, which I still maintain was because the course was in such shape. If it was like at Torrey Pines, I think we would have gotten 60% less criticism. But anyway.
Agreed.
So, so all I said was something, and at the time Tiger was in the dumps, right? He was just not things weren't going well. So I compared our coverage of the US Open to Tiger's career at the time or something to that effect. And one golf blog picked it up and pointed out that it was weird that I criticized my own network. So they wouldn't have even known it because they weren't watching our show. I know that. Loomis wasn't watching our show. But some buddy of his had a golf blog, and that's why he and then he was all upset. And then John Entz didn't talk to me for 2 years. But
well, I think Loomis said he's over it. He laughed. I kind of awkwardly said, okay, well, I guess I'll walk over there now. But he said, it's all good. He said, it's all good.
Well, listen, buddy, we're taking calls on the podcast, so we got to get to our calls. But, man, it was great catching up with you, bud.
Hey, great to hear from you guys.
I hope you're doing well. And I know Dan would want you to say hi to Mike for him.
Yep.
Oh, of course. I will.
Thanks, buddy.
See you, buddy.
Take it easy, guys.
Yeah.
Good talking back.
Here's Bernie Kim. What a legend.
Are we taking calls right away? Because I just wanted to read this one quick thing here that someone sent me. They wanted us to discuss on the podcast. This is the strangest thing I've ever been sent. He found this on a Facebook message board. Let's keep this simple. I have a hot tub. I'm having a group release party on July 7th. Everybody's welcome. Last time was all men, which was fun, but I'd really like to get some women this time. Here's how it works. 5 people get into my 400-gallon redwood hot tub. The temperature is a challenging 125 degrees. After a few minutes, everybody evacuates, voids their bowels in the tub. We see what floats to the surface. This letting go stage is followed by a coming together stage in which each person helps the person to their left reach satisfaction. Hand sex. Simple and wonderful. And then he goes on to list 15 rules associated. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, by golly, Jesus.
I just wanted to read that because that's...
Where did you get that?
Someone said it to me on Instagram. Said, found this on
let's
Facebook
take that
group.
first caller.
Found this on a Facebook group. It may be up your guys' alley for podcast talk. LOL. That's from Kurt Gillies.
We should discuss that. We've got these callers on the line, but I think maybe we could just discuss this with every... When you said release party, that's what I thought, but then I thought, no, he couldn't actually mean that everyone gives everybody in the tub a handy.
Yep.
And it turns out that's exactly what happened. And
themselves.
Also release their bowels.
You'd be sitting in...
Yeah, it wouldn't be very easy to get an erection or be aroused if you saw yours and everyone else in the tub's poop having risen to the surface of the tub. Or maybe you're into that kind of thing. Maybe that would make you more excited. Stoff, who's our first caller?
Our first caller here is Ryan.
Ryan, where are you calling us from? The Jay and Dan podcast. You're on, buddy. How are you?
Good. I'm calling from Brandon, Manitoba, and I have to tell you that conversation made me aroused.
Okay. Well, I know how things are in Brandon. Things are a little bit
Do you
weird.
want to hear some of the ground rules?
Sure, let's hear it.
Okay, number 1, no footwear of any kind in the tub. Leave your flip-flops on the deck. Number 2, do not go into the house. Number 3, scents are okay, but please no greasy hair products. Number 4, please refrain from smoking. Number 5, once everybody's in the tub, it's silent time. No talking until everybody's out.
Ugh.
We'll continue on in a minute.
Oh, God, that would be so weird. So after everyone rises to the surface, then automatically everyone tries to give a handy to the person on their left. Like they just know, okay, that's the rule. Once I see all the but how do you know all the has risen? How do you know someone in the tub isn't still a lot of variables there, right, Ryan?
You're supposed to take the and then freeze it and then use it later as foreplay.
Oh, just smother it over your partner's chest and buttocks.
There's many places you can put it. Hey, bud, I'm just going to crack a Coors Light here.
All right.
We've got some Coors Light mugs. They're baseball bats hollowed out.
These are the coolest mugs ever. Thank you to Coors Light for sending us these amazing baseball bat Coors Light mugs, the official beer of Major League Baseball, Coors Light. Ryan, what do you do for a living? Are you a student? Are you You prostitute? What do you do?
I'm a male prostitute by night,
Yeah.
and during the day, I am in communications.
Communications for whom? CTV Brandon?
I don't want to get fired.
Okay, fair
okay.
enough.
That's
Fair
all
enough.
good.
I understand.
Now, did you have a question for the podcast?
I have a would you rather.
I
Okay.
love it.
Fire away.
All right. Every time, would you rather, when you went to the bathroom, have fire ants crawl out of your pee hole when you peed,
Okay.
or when you poop, have a hamster crawl out, claws just grabbing onto everything it can?
Oof.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Oh, man.
Every time?
Every time the claws? That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going fire ants.
Good choice.
I think I'm going fire ants.
Yeah, I'd go fire ants too.
Yeah, oh God, but even that sounds horrible as well. Ugh. Can we go back to the sex would you rathers?
Okay. No. I've still got sex ground rules. Thanks for the call, buddy. And
Thanks, Ryan.
Have a great summer in Brandon.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. Have good holidays.
Happy holidays. Oh, have a good holiday. Sorry. I thought he said happy holidays. He said have a good holidays. Number 7, please commit before showing up. Don't come out to the backyard, check out the scene, then decide to leave. This
means-
disrupts the experience.
Well, because you're seeing ugly people in that tub that are about to next to you.
Well, I think that's for any party. Don't just take a peek in and then leave.
A couple more rules, please. Oh, wait. Let's get to the rules when we get to the next caller. The next caller's stuff is
Eldon.
Eldon. Where are you calling us from? You're on the Jane Dan podcast.
I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Salt Lake City, Utah. Fantastic. What a beautiful town. I've never been. What do you how did you come to know the pod, bud?
From your Fox Sports days.
Oh, very nice. You were the one who was watching. Fantastic.
There's a couple of us down here.
I love it. I love it.
Man, your city looked beautiful during the Olympics. When the hell was that? 2006?
2002?
2002.
2002.
Yeah.
Sunny every day. We won gold in hockey.
Yeah, that was fun.
So I heard.
Yeah. Do you have a question for us, Eldon?
Not so much a question as much as a constructive criticism.
Oh, okay. We like
I
those.
like hearing that. We like to grow
I
and
gotta say
change.
I'm on Team Dan here, but that's a Ben Teller guy. We need to put a muzzle on him for a little while.
Whoa, here we go. The anti-Ben brigade is on. Tell us what you don't like about Ben. Dan could talk about that for hours.
Well, most of the time I'm listening to you guys in my car headed to work, and as soon as that Hi Dan comes on, I just want to drive my car into a brick wall.
Yeah, I want to run out of the studio.
So you guys got so many great guests that come on between Engineer Jim and Joel Klatt, but yet Ben is on every week. You need to get some of the other guys on.
Well, he hasn't been on much because he says, he's been banned till when, Dan? November? October.
It's in my
I'm
calendar.
so happy.
I love your criticism. That's great.
Eldon, thank you for listening. We truly appreciate it, and go Jazz. Grayson Allen.
I'm not a big basketball fan. I actually used to live in Arizona, so I'm a big Coyotes fan.
Okay,
Hasn't been going too well
that
for me.
doesn't seem like it's too fruitful.
So you're really latching on popular things. The Coyotes and Jay and Dan in America.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud. Thanks for calling in. We truly appreciate it.
Have a great summer. Number 8, please no laughing or frivolity. It's not that it has to be dead serious, but we don't want to turn it into a joke. For many people, a group release party is a psychosexual experience, and your laughter can be shaming.
Let's go to the next caller. Who's the next caller, Stuff?
That would be Jordan.
Jordan, have you ever been to a release party, and was it a psychosexual experience that you found shaming? And where are you calling from?
I'm going to have to say no on that one, and I'm calling from Yorkton, Saskatchewan.
Ah, home of the Terriers. Love it.
Well, they haven't been doing much lately, I'm afraid.
Oh, no, but home of, is Yorkton still home of the KFC buffet? No, that's Weyburn.
That's Weyburn.
That's Weyburn.
How's summer in Yorkton right now?
Summer in Yorkton's pretty good right now. Yeah, it's been fantastic weather, and Every time I drive through Valcaris, I always think of Jay's grandpa, and that's my question: is how's Jay's grandpa doing, or is this going to get awkward shortly?
It will, but that's okay. He was so old. He did recently pass away, but he had a good life, Jordan. I appreciate you asking about him. He had an amazing life. Outlived his 8 brothers and sisters. So that's very kind of you to ask about him. He had a good one. He had ladies in his life all the way through to the end. After my grandmother passed away like 25 years ago, he had one girlfriend for about 15 years. Then he had another 2 girlfriends in the seniors' home.
Whoa.
Like he would have been good at a release party. He would have himself and absolutely the person next to him for sure. Because he was also French, so he was into some weird.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, for sure, buddy.
Okay, well, given that World Series of Poker just wrapped up, Las Vegas is on the brain and that sort of thing, so I'm just curious. I know Dan went to Vegas. It seemed like every other weekend it was joked about when you guys were down in the States. Are you willing to share your biggest bet you've ever played, or if you want to leave it to the one you've won, go right ahead.
Oh, Dan.
Oh, you were there the one night when we had the big roll on, like, we had
Where
a
was
lot
that?
On the craps table.
What casino? I forget.
Oh, there's been nights where, like, you have a hot roller and you'll have a few $1,000s on the table, like, for each roll, because you just keep pushing your bets and it just keeps adding up and adding up. So if someone rolls for like 25, 30 minutes, which is extremely rare occurrence, but when it does, there's a lot of money on that craps table. So that's my answer to your question. But
that wasn't really an answer, though.
But I've never, like, most I've bet on a game, and like a football game's like Super Bowl, bet $1,000 on the over.
Yeah, I think I've maybe bet $1,000 a few times in Vegas at the sports book. That's it. We're basically super cheap people, Jordan. Super cheap.
Well, you work in Canadian media.
Exactly, exactly. Well, listen, have a great summer in Yorkton, and thanks for calling into the podcast, bud.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
That's Jordan.
Number 9, please no loud talking after the session. My neighbors have complained several times and have threatened to call the police. Yeah, I'd be calling the police.
Hey, what'd you think of that I gave you? How'd you like that I just took?
Number 10, if you're over 200 pounds, it's fine, but please let me know in advance.
Whoa. Are there fat-shaming people? Who's our next caller?
I just want to ask one quick follow-up question. At the beginning, did you say last year's event was all male?
Yeah, the last time they did this, there was all men.
Boy, that is
he'd like to have some women. Like to have some women in there.
It was all male. Now, wait, so is he gay, or he's just like, this isn't a gay straight thing, this is just a release party, and gay or straight, everyone's welcome to and be released?
I'm not sure, but Chris is on the line.
Chris, ever been to a gay or straight release party in a hot tub where you take your feces floats to the surface, and then you, with your hand, masturbate the person next to you, to the left? I believe that's the other problem with this plan, because if it was me in there, I'd want to go to the right. I'm a righty. If I'm going to the left, that's not good. I'm not doing that guy
Chris,
to the
where
left of me any favors.
Well, I wanted to answer that question first, and I was going to say to the right, obviously.
Yeah, you want to go to the right. Mostly, most of us do.
But I'm calling from the West Coast. I am Nanaimo, British Columbia.
Oh, the home of the Nanaimo bar.
Beautiful.
Yes, we are. I think that's all we're known for, really, right now.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to be in Victoria on Friday. I can't wait. I'm very excited to come out to your neck of the
coming
woods.
in nice weather. It's about 32 degrees here with no wind.
Ah, sounds amazing. I can't wait.
Hot.
Do you have any questions for us?
Bring the gold bond first.
Oh,
yes, of course.
Absolutely.
But me and the wife, we're coming out to Toronto at the end of August for a wedding, but we're only going to be there for less than 48 hours, and I wanted to get some recommendations on. We got to get some good places to eat. I think we're staying around the.
Okay, you came. You're staying around where?
Yeah, where are you staying?
Staying around the Bloor train stop, I believe.
Are you saying
we're
like
close to Little Italy, and we're just looking somewhere to eat, somewhere good. What do you got?
You came to the right spot. This is Jay's specialty.
Now you're staying, I think, in Yorkville. Like you're staying at like Yonge and Bloor, like the Bloor subway stop, you said?
Yeah, because we're catching the train right from the airport. And
Good idea. I love that
nice
train.
spot right from there.
You're going to do great. I mean, you don't have to leave that area that you're staying in, and there's all sorts of great places to eat. In fact, Dan just went to a place near there. I can't remember what it was called.
Brothers?
Yeah, Brothers. And then what was the place you just went to with your daughters that you said was awesome?
Oh, that's the new hotel, Annandale House. The Annandale House. That's at Yonge and Bloor.
Yonge and Charles, I think, right? Yonge and Charles?
Yeah, it's a block down from Bloor. So,
for me, what I would recommend and what I recommend to everyone who comes to this city is Grant Van Gameron's restaurants. So he's a chef owner, young guy, super talented, and he has a lot of great restaurants in the city. Bar Isabel, Bar Raval, the El Rey, the Tennessee Tavern, Harry's Charbroiled. And then he's just about to open a Mexican restaurant that might be open when you guys get here called, and I hope I'm not pronouncing this incorrectly, Quetzal. And it's going to be bonkers good. So if you just Google Grant Van Gameron restaurants and go to one of those restaurants or hit a couple of those restaurants, and you won't go wrong.
The correct name is the Andor House. Their restaurant, yeah, it was unreal. Ate there a couple weeks ago. So I recommend that.
And another place, for lunch, Momofuku Noodle Bar.
Yes, really good.
So good. Right on University and Queen, David Chang's restaurant. Get the pork buns. You can't go wrong.
And
there you go.
if you can't find any of those spots, always hit up the sausage truck outside Canadian Tire. Those are delicious.
Well, we have those here, so I was hoping to find something more local.
Okay.
Well, enjoy it, my friend, and have a great time when you're here.
Thanks, will do. And I had one last quick suggestion for the Dan Festival.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm glad you brought this up.
You guys missed the Dan Band.
Yes, we got so many tweets about this.
Good.
Thank you for bringing that up because I totally forgot. Yes, we know we should have included the Dan Band. I forgot that they were called the Dan Band.
Me too. And I actually saw pictures of them on their website where literally behind the band as they play is Dan in massive 20-foot letters. So that is made for Dan Fest.
Yeah, it seems like they should headline Dan Fest.
I was going to say they're headlining the whole weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, my friend. We'll talk to you soon. Well, we won't. We will probably never talk to you again.
Probably not. But thanks, guys.
But have a great time.
Number 12, no drugs of any kind. Number 13.
No drugs?
This is my favorite one. Number 13, please make sure that you've eaten well and not excreted for at least 12 hours before coming.
So you're just holding it in. It's like turtle head popping through.
Number 14, no food in the hot tub or on the deck. If you must eat, finish your food in your car. It's a very specific rule.
Putting back a plate of spaghetti in his Toyota Tercel before he goes in to jerk off a dude. Okay, should we take one more call and then we got to get to our special guest?
We got Brandon on the line here.
Brandon, where are you calling
Sneaking
from?
her in.
You made it, buddy.
Sneaking her in. Oh man.
Where are you calling from?
Calling from the Jersey Shore, man. From New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah, swear to God.
That Jersey Shore, now it's back on the air, and they're like as popular as ever, I heard. I am taking this all secondhand.
Except they can't. They won't let them film here anymore. That's why they keep filming in Miami.
Ah.
When they started, I was in like high school, so we were talking about like how they were going to start filming it, and then crazy.
It went bananas. And and so what do you do in the Jersey Shore? You bartend?
Oh, this is part one of my questions here. Quick two-parter, sorry. I'm an IT guy.
Nice. We could use you here. We have none.
Now, I do not want to let this Olga thing go,
Okay.
I can't let it slide.
Right.
I can help you guys find her.
Wow. Okay.
We could trace her emails.
Yes. Let's do it.
Okay.
Dan's eyes have lit up like a Christmas tree.
I will do this for free. I just need to know where she is.
Orenburg.
I don't want to let Dan go. This is true love.
Yeah. You don't want to let love die.
I should let you know, I haven't, since that last email, we haven't conversed at all, and that's over a month now. She's moved on.
It doesn't matter. So it's like an IP address or outside IP address. You can locate that stuff. It's pretty creepy stuff, but you could see, like, I've seen it where, like, because for work, we've had people get their, like, emails hacked, and we had to trace it, and I could tell you, like, where in Africa, like, the town.
Wow.
Okay, so off air, we will get your email address, and I'll send you all her info, and hopefully you'll find out. And if she's not even in Russia, then we know that someone.
We got to find out.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got to find out.
I like this. Okay.
Okay, and you said you had another question?
Another question. I'm getting married in October.
Right. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. All my groomsmen, the boys, talked them into coming to Toronto. They all got passports. I've been there a couple times. Now, I haven't been there out on like a good old boys trip. Jay, what do you got for me? I'm talking about straight debauchery, 48 hours, end of September. We're going to a Jays game. That's about it.
That's good.
You want to make sure you hit up
the whole time.
The underground garage is just around where the Blue Jays play. That's a good spot to get some bevies there. It's always rocking. So you go there.
So the boys want to also go to like a strip club.
Yeah, gentlemen's club. I figured that's what you were sniffing at.
You guys don't have dollar bills. Like, how does that work?
It's basically very simple. It's lap dances. You're not throwing bills on the stage. You're not throwing anything on the stage. There's girls dancing on the stage, but it's really just to entice you for the lap dances that take place in the back of the club. And depending on the club, the lap dances, the lines are blurred. But for the most part, it's no touchy and all that stuff. It's $20 a dance. That's about all I should probably say. I should probably just leave it there. But what I would say is there's two clubs I would recommend. The Brass Rail, which we talk about all the time.
I always hear you talk about the Brass Rail.
That's on Yonge Street.
That's on Yonge Street, so that's in Toronto. That's easy to get to. But if you're coming all this way, you guys should rent a limo and take one night and go down to Niagara Falls and go to the Sundowner.
An hour and a half away at the most.
It's a quick trip.
The first time me and my fiance went to Canada, we went to Toronto.
You went to the Sundowner.
And
Good for you.
We rented a car and went to Niagara Falls, and that's actually where I popped the question. So
very nice.
That'd be perfect.
So when two Eastern European strippers are grinding all over your face and neck, then you can regale them with stories about your when you asked your wife to marry you in that same city.
And you can do some gambling.
Oh, because the boys are asking me about it, so I go to Google it, like down low, like the hidden mystery, like, you know what I mean, like the incognito version of Google Chrome. And I looked it up, and I was like, this place looks kind of sketchy.
Wait, are you talking about the Sundowner?
No, I was just talking about, like, I was just Googling, like, how do strip clubs work in Canada? And
you'll figure it out, my friend. Just bring cash. That's all I can say. Bring 20s.
I'm just nervous that I'm going to get there, and it's like $20 a pop, and then next thing you know, 2 minutes walking out of the door, I'm strapped, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you will be like that. So just save your pennies and come with 20s, and you'll have a great time. But I would recommend the Sundowner because that's a great club, and it's not that far, as Dan pointed out. And that will be a fun. You guys would just have a great time. That's where
we're gonna be blasted for 48 hours. It's gonna be a good time.
That's an amazing thing, my friend. Congratulations. We got to get to the next one.
And good luck with the wedding.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, my friend. There we go. We'll get his info off. I think we're gonna take one more call. Because we got one more caller. Is that right? Yeah, okay. So one more quick one. Who do we have on the line?
That's Sam.
Sam, where are you calling from?
Oh, my gosh. Yes, that's awesome.
Hey, Sam.
I'm from beautiful British Columbia, Kelowna, BC.
Oh, what a town. I'm going to be there in a couple of weeks. What a great town.
A town that when I was studying to be a broadcaster, I did a newscast on our college radio station and called it Kelowna.
Yes. Really?
Yeah. Kelowna.
CKDJ.
That's right. It was CKDJ.
We got to make this one quick, my friend. Do you have a question for us?
No question.
No, you just want to chat.
I just wanted to chat. I wanted to stay on the line. I was like, maybe these guys will grab it. And thanks so much for grabbing. My heart's pounding on my chest. I'm super nervous, but I'm sitting on the beach at the Kelowna Paddle Center right now. My teammates, I'm one of the competitive paddleboarders in Kelowna, and practice started at 6 o'clock, so... My teammates are out there.
You're competitive.
Where is the paddle center? Where is that? That's code for the El Dorado patio.
It's funny because I actually do part-time work at the El Dorado as well.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm sure I'll see you there. That's a nice patio. Boy, that's
the
great
paddle
spot.
center is just off of Abbott Abbott Street and KLO, actually.
Okay, I know. I actually know where that
north
is.
North of the El Dorado. So.
Okay, very nice.
I actually worked at the El Dorado, the Marina, front desk, and valet park right now. So I'm a bit of a renaissance man at the El.
Look at you. Look at you. You're making it happen for yourself.
No.
Did you ever go? What was the strip club in Kelowna? I forget now.
Liquid Zoo.
Yes. Oh, yes, that's right. And wasn't the Willow Inn the strip club a long time ago?
Well, I'm originally born and raised in Calgary. I've been here for 5 years. So
okay, maybe that's before your time. Yeah, the Willow Inn.
Did you make it back to the Stampede?
No, unfortunately not, but a lot of my friends are having a good time there. I'd like to go back there in the next few years, but I'll be going back to Calgary in August, so I'll probably pull one.
Why are you going back?
Why?
Just
visit the family, going to Canmore.
Oh, just to visit. Okay.
Oh, beautiful Canmore. Love that place.
Yeah, that's a great spot.
So maybe I'll do it's only about a 45-minute flight, and I know Jay's rule, a 45 or 50-minute flight is a little bit of a handy job. So we'll see if I get there.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
So?
If you're in a release party, you don't need 45 or 50 minutes. You get right after the rises to the surface.
It'll all make sense when you listen to the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks a lot for taking my call. I know
thanks, buddy.
It was a pleasure. Good luck paddleboarding. Have fun.
Oh, thank you so much. Made my day.
See you, bud.
Number 16, do not turn on the aeration jets under any circumstances. This makes the party impossible to clean up afterwards and also disrupts the atmosphere in the tub. So no jets. Because that poop will get sucked right up in there. Please do not park in the driveway. If parking is limited, park on Arcola Street.
Park on Arcola. So we know where he is now. He's on Arcola. The question is, what city?
No cameras or any kind, including camera phones.
I'd like to go.
It's a discreet experience.
It sounds like it. Other than yourselves.
If you have a health concern which you believe may be transmittable through personal waste material, please wait for at least 2 weeks after the matter is cleared up before attending a session.
They're calling it a session now. Interesting.
You are welcome to bring a friend, provided I know in advance.
Yeah, don't just show up with your pal who's going to be me off. Tell me about your pal who's going to be me off.
This guy. Wow, that is the straight, and that's the end of it. It says contact him if you're interested.
I guarantee Jim has been to a release party back in his GNR days. 1,000% him / Izzy, Dizzy, Duff, Steven Adler, Matt Sorum in one hot tub with Jim going left.
That was so sorry about the graphicness of the hot tub party, but I just needed to read that because it's stuck with me all day.
Well, listen, we should probably kind of wrap this up now. Okay, so just a reminder, we're back with fresh new pods Labor Day week.
Correct.
But in between then, Christoph, right after we finish this podcast, is putting together 8 spectacular best of podcasts.
He's got the reel-to-reels all lined up. He's going to splice some tape.
That's right. He's got his razor blade ready to go to chop up the lines and to splice the tape. That's how he keeps it going late into the night. So listen, enjoy. You'll keep getting fresh podcasts every week. They'll be best ofs. They're going to be great. And he's going to package them together in a fun way, so you hear some new stuff too. But thanks for listening. It's been an amazing year. And big thanks to Coors Light for sponsoring us this year.
And
this
thanks for the new mugs.
Yeah, they're wicked. Like, these are freaking the coolest thing ever. Thanks for listening to the podcast, everybody. Are we do you got them? No shot. No Jim. Okay.
We'll talk to him the first podcast.
Yeah, first podcast back, we'll get Jim back. Stoff, thank you for all your hard work, bud. And thanks to everyone for listening.
Bye-bye.